I don't fit in. I never have. I don't know if I ever will. It's not just about being black and white, although that's definitely part of it. I talked about in my story before that, it's difficult being mixed, where you are black with your white friends and white with your black friends. There are identity things that go with that, but like I said in the video, I don't think that that's unique to being mixed. I think that's something that everyone deals with, trying to fit in, trying to belong. It goes way beyond black versus white. For me, it was trying to be an athlete because I love sports, but I wasn't that good at them. And then, jock versus hipster. I don't wear skinny jeans, so nowadays that's kind of what's cool. Part of my career path is working with video. So in the different jobs that I've had, a lot of times I work with people that are really into video and really into films and movies, and I'm just not that into those. I like movies that have a happy ending. I like Spider-Man, I like the Marvel movies, I think they're fun. True movie people may not like those because they're just action, whatever, but I think they're fun movies, I don't care. Even in the church, I didn't necessarily fit in with their style of music, with their kind of fake smiles and over-the-top Christianese terms. Christians seem very touchy and huggy. Everybody wants to hug everyone. I didn't fit in with that. I'm not a real big hugger. I talked about in that other video that I really don't like using the word love that often or just throwing it around, but I feel like in the church, it's everywhere all the time. The church now, I feel like, is very hipstery, skinny jeans. Again, not me. When I was in college, it was all about the oversized t-shirts and baggy jeans, and they didn't really fit in the church. I like rap music. That doesn't always fit in a church setting. To be honest with you, the place that I probably found most comfortable, my best fit, was when I worked at Minnetonka Moccasin, but I went to this place not thinking I was gonna wanna talk to anyone at all. This place didn't drug test. I think it was me and maybe one other guy that didn't at least smoke weed, if not do more. So I thought this was not a place where I was gonna be comfortable, but I ended up making some pretty good friends there. And the Vikings were good that year. It was 09 and we had Brett Favre, so we could talk to sports, we talked to Vikings. We listened to similar music, although when I would listen to those artists, it was always edited, but we kind of walked and talked similar. That was weird to me because they weren't Christian guys, they didn't go to church, and for whatever reason, I still fit in with them better than I felt like I ever did in the church. Lecrae actually talks about this in his book that he wrote, Unashamed, and it's really good, I highly recommend it. He talks about how he doesn't fit in. And I always assumed he was talking about in the world, because he's a Christian, but he's a rap artist, so he's out in the world trying to spread the gospel. But reading his book, he talked about, he also felt like an outsider in the church. Because even though his music was in the church, and he would go on tours and play at youth groups and churches, he grew up in the world, and now he's in the church, and he doesn't feel like he really fits in, because he doesn't fit in the white, suburban, evangelical church. And so in his book, he kind of talks about how he's kind of balancing both, and he's kind of got a foot in both worlds, and how difficult that can be. You become a Christian, God doesn't want you to be this little drone with no personality that does exactly like, oh, this is what the church does, this is how a Christian acts, this is how a Christian dresses. It's not what God's looking for. God created you to be you. Why would he want to change that when you become a Christian? So maybe I'm the only one that feels like I've never fit in, but I think all of us at times don't feel like we fit in. So what we do is we put on these costumes. Yes, I'm doing this on Halloween, cliche, whatever. We put on these costumes to try to fit in different situations. So when I'm with these people, I'm gonna wear skinny jeans because that's what they do. When I'm with these people, I'm gonna pretend like I know about sports and talk sports. And I'm gonna listen to rap music when I'm with these guys, and I'm gonna listen to worship music when I'm with these guys, and we try to fit in situations, but we're never really comfortable, right? When you're trying to be somebody you're not comfortable. This happens in church too. We go to church and we act a certain way we think how a Christian should act, no matter how we live the rest of the week. On Sunday morning, we raise our hands, we smile, we say, oh, bless the Lord. But then also sometimes you're just adapting to the world and what's out there. And you go with these friends, so you talk a certain way, you use certain words, listen to certain music. It happens in the world and in the church. So why am I talking about this? Why am I talking about not fitting in? Hopefully it's helping some of you to identify that you feel the same way. Or maybe you're just looking at me like I'm crazy, but that's okay. I want to talk about why I don't think I fit in. I think the first one is just God doesn't want me living for other people's approval. Don't worry about the approval of other people because it's fleeting. It's momentarily and it changes from time to time. If you're always living for what people think, if you're always like, oh, now I fit in, now I'm cool, now I'm popular, it'll change. Not only will styles change, but people will change. The people you're with will change. Just because you were popular in high school doesn't mean you're gonna necessarily be popular and well-liked and successful in life. But I think the most important reason why I don't fit in and why some of you feel like you don't fit in is because you weren't made to fit in. God created you unique. And I've talked about this in other videos, and I've talked about how God created you unique for a specific plan and a specific purpose. And then our experiences make us even more different from each other, that no two people are the same because we all live different lives and we're created differently. But I want to clarify that it's not just about your talent or your future job, career path. Yes, if you're an athlete, God made you athletic. And maybe you're supposed to go into the sports world and change people's lives for God. And if you're good at music, then by all means, make music that glorifies God and brings people closer to Him. But it's not just your talent, it's not just your abilities that God created unique. It's you, it's your personality, it's your likes, your dislikes. If you like a certain kind of music, I like rap music. God put that in me. I don't think that's just random whatever. I believe that's part of the way I was created. Maybe you're an introvert or an extrovert. Either way, God created you that way. Maybe you're somewhere in the middle and sometimes you're both. That's kind of the way I am. Sometimes I'm introverted, sometimes I'm extroverted. I don't really know where I fit, again. But God created you that way. If you're introverted, don't think you have to be outgoing and you have to work a room and say hi to everybody in the room. Be who God created you to be as an introvert. While extroverts are super gifted at like meeting everybody at church on Sunday, I found that introverts are better usually at developing those relationships the week after, because maybe, because they don't say hi to everybody, the few people that they actually do connect with, they develop relationships with going forward. So I just want to, again, drive this point home of created purpose and identity, who God created you to be. I'm not saying that you can't work on things. If you are an introvert, you can work on, I want to be more outgoing. I want to talk to people more. You can work on that. That's something you can definitely develop. But don't forsake your natural gift that God has already given you. I think everything down to your height and your hair color was created by God for a specific purpose. Not just because, although it's true that God just wants all sorts of beautiful people, and that's why He created all of us different shades and sizes, because He loves us and He is a master creator, and a beautiful masterpiece is not just one color, it's all different colors, and that's what makes it beautiful. Sidetrack. So yeah, we're all unique. I don't think you're ever gonna truly find a place where you fit in, where everybody there is all the same, because we're all different. But that doesn't mean you won't find your fit. See, God created you specific. He also created a specific place for you, specific times in life. So at some point in your life, you may be supposed to be here right now. In our lives, we're supposed to be in Southern California. But that doesn't mean we're gonna find a group of people that are just like us. In fact, that'd be counterproductive. If you're a running back and you're looking for a football team where you'd be a good fit, you don't find a team that already has a bunch of running backs, because they don't need you. So God created you unique, and where you're gonna fit is not necessarily where everybody is like you. Where you fit is gonna be where you're needed. This is why you gotta find your fit. This is why you can't just look around and say, hey, these guys are like me, I'm gonna go hang out with them, I'm gonna go do this thing. You gotta talk to God and find out where you're supposed to go and where you're supposed to fit and what He created you to do. So I don't know where you are in all of this. I don't know if you feel like you're cool and popular and you fit everywhere you go, this video might not be for you. But if you struggle with your fit and identity at all, then just know that you were created by God, and He created you exactly the way He wanted you to be. Your personality, your likes, your interests, your talents, your abilities, God created you that way. So don't worry about fitting in with certain people in certain groups. The only thing you need to worry about is being exactly who God created you to be.